All right, clap it up. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. This is ISUPK Austin Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood and sisterhood. Brotherhood is the weapon to get up under our. Okay. Of course, if there's any questions online, y'all go ahead and chat them in. If there's any questions in the room, y'all know, raise your hand, and Lord willing, we'll be able to get to them. All right. Today we're going to be talking about camp because a lot of people, I get a question of why do y'all go out there in the streets? And I say, we teach here in these classes too, but we also do like our forefathers did, and we go out there into the highways and the byways. That's what the highway is. A highway, that's a street, It's a high traffic street. And that's why we're in the downtowns. That's why we're in high traffic areas, okay? So we can wake up our people. So our people can know that they are the Israelites that according to the Bible, that they're God's chosen people. See, we have been stepped on and we have been made low so much that we don't think we're supposed to be special at all. We think that we are supposed to be separate. We don't believe that we have to come together. A lot of other nations, they'll come together. And they'll come together to oppress you. Anything to do with you and building their community, they will come together. We gotta learn to come together as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to take away all of the confusion and of what we were taught in school. Okay?
This is the book of God, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
What?
Gather yourselves together.
See, the Bible, it says to gather together. See, the Lord requires us to gather together. And that's hard for us. It's hard for us because we have a lot of hate and hostility to one another. And our community ain't gonna like her. Her hair is 3 inches long. A brother's not gonna like you because your crossover dribbles, Zakaria. Your crossover is just too nice. And every time you come to the court and Keisha's sitting there on that bench, she's screaming for you and not him. Okay? Read that again.
Khan. Gather yourselves together.
Gather yourself together. So-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian, children of the slaves. That's who needs to gather together. Continue reading.
Yea, gather together, O nation, not desired.
You gather together, O nation, not desired. And who is not desired? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How do you know we're not desired? Go ahead, Yaquab. Because we at the bottom. How else? Because we are still in a slavery. Okay? We're the ones that get trampled on. We're the ones that get put in the most horrible communities, the most horrible pieces of land. Okay? That's why our ghettos are concrete. All right? They put us in these horrible conditions. You know why they cut down all the trees in the ghetto and the projects? Because they want it hotter. All right, it's hotter in the projects than it is in their neighborhoods because they're taking away all your shade. They filling you up with all kind of liquor and substances, getting you out there in the heat, and then you acting a damn fool. Read that one more time.
Khan. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desired.
See, we are that nation that's not desired. And as being that nation not desired, we need to understand that even though we're not desired, but we are desired by the Lord. Give me Deuteronomy 7 real quick. 7 and 6.
Read when I got it.
Come.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art and holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
You see, we're supposed to be a special people unto the Most High. We're supposed to be holy. Holy meaning separate. We're supposed to be a separate people. We're not supposed to be like these other nations. We're not supposed to eat what these other nations eat. We're not supposed to drink like these other nations drink. We're not supposed to act in the mannerisms that they act. They carry themselves in a whole different way. These other nations, they do a lot of filthy, disgusting things. We're not. We're people of dignity, okay? But we have lost that dignity. We lost that dignity through culture. Our culture has become Snoop Dogg. It has become Sexy Red. It has become Cardi B, Little Uzi Vert. That's our culture now. Those are when people are looking at us. That's who they're looking at. Those are the characters that they're seeing when they look at and see what. Maybe they should look at Commander Johanna. Look at these generals, these captains in the school.
That's right.
Maybe you should do that and look at somebody who actually has honor and integrity. We don't have any. People were upset about the BET Awards because it was embarrassing. They're out there embarrassing us. Every time they go out, they shaking their tail. Even Angel Reese. She's in the WNBA. She doesn't have to go out there and shake her tail. But you know what? She got on stage with Megan Thee Stallion. And that's what Megan Thee Stallion does. That's what she promotes. And that's why our daughters and our young sisters, they want to be like them. They're so promiscuous. They can't keep a lid on their box because they just have to go out and have all the pleasures, even though they get no pleasure because you're crying 2 weeks later about the nigga. So you're not getting the pleasure anyway. So why don't you conceal? See, I'm gonna let you know what our problem is. So I was watching this clip, and the sister was talking to the brother, and she was talking about how she slept with a brother on her stairs. This was in New York. So the brother asked, "Why didn't you just take him into the house?" And she said, "Oh no, I can't take him in my house. I don't even know him." You see, that's how low we have became that we would give each other our bodies before we even know the person. You'll run up in some filthy, disgusting woman because she's curvy, not even understanding that as soon as you're done, you're going to be on your way to the clinic. You're going to have to go to the clinic. You're going to have to get a shot, hopefully, or it'll be something that you can't get rid of. All right? Did you finish that?
Verse 6, come loud, sir.
Finish verse 6, and then let's go to that. Let's get them that for being promiscuous. Go ahead.
Thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Yep.
Above all
Next
people.
to.
Above all people.
Above all people, not under. We're under. Continue.
That are upon the face of the earth.
Dang, that's all people upon the face of the earth. That's what the Bible's saying. Now give me Deuteronomy 28, where it talks about the extreme burning. We need to get that because we're out here just doing all manner of nonsense, and we're not really thinking about the consequence. I read an article. It was in Houston, not last week, but the week before. And it was like 300,000 with HIV, just straight up, and then 18,000 children. So you do the math and you think how safe it is, okay? Got that? Yep, go ahead and get that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning.
See, we getting sick. We having inflammations. I don't know. You ever see those older people in the store and you see like their leg or their ankle up to the knee, how swollen they be having to ride on them carts? The rest of their body be normal. Those are inflammations. These things really happen. And what did it say? And with what? Extreme what?
And with extreme burning.
And with that extreme burning, those are sexual diseases.
Something that says on the internet, 70% of estimated atopic infections are made up of the Black African American people and Hispanic.
Yes, because we were given the law. Finish that out real quick.
Colonel Khan. And with the sword.
That sword. That sword is the gun now. You know, we're out here being unalive by that gun. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Our oppressor is dropping duffel bags of artillery off on Chicago corners. They're just dumping it there. They want you to do this, and then you go listen to King Von, and now you're feeling like you're ready. It's gonna make you go out there. It's gonna make you want to do it, especially when you got that in you. That's why it's so poisonous. Is that it?
Nah, sir.
Go ahead.
And with blasting, and with mildew.
Yep.
And they shall pursue thee until thou perish.
This is happening until we perish. And you know why? Jump up to verse 1. This is why. This is why we're perishing. One simple thing. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations, above all nations, above all nations,
but hand in hand,
above all nations.
Martin Luther King should have read this before he had a dream.
Above all nations.
That's where so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're supposed to be where?
Above all nations.
That's what we're supposed to be. Continue.
Of the earth.
Of the earth. Drop down to 15.
Verse 15.
This is why we're not above all nations. This is why we're below all nations. Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
See, all these curses, they are coming upon us. That's why it's so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who are catching the disease, because we were given the law. We're not supposed to be out there like these other nations doing what they do. Okay? All right? That's what we have to understand. Okay. Drop that and give me Second Chronicles 15:3.
Colonel Khan. This is the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 3. Now for a long season, Israel hath been without the true God, and without a teaching priest, and without law.
You see, we've been without that for a long time, man. We were lacking. That's why my father wasn't born in the truth. My grandfather, he wasn't born in the truth. All right, my great-grandfather, he wasn't born in the truth. This truth wasn't on the earth. This truth was hidden away. It was tough. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But when they in their trouble did turn to the Lord God of Israel and sought him, he was found of them.
You see, continue.
Verse 5. And in those times there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexations were upon all the inhabitants of the countries.
That's what's going on now. We're not blessed going in and out. We are cursed. We are living in these curses because we're not following the law, statutes, and commandments. Continue reading.
Verse 6. And nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city, for God did vex them with all adversity.
Continue.
Verse 7. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded.
Continue.
Verse 8. And when Asa heard these words and the prophecy of Obed,
I only needed to 7. But yeah, let not your hands be weak. All right, you guys have to work. You're going to have to work for this. We're going to have to work for this freedom. How do we work for this freedom? We come up out of the mindset of our oppressors, out of their philosophies, out of their religions. That Christianity is destroying us. It's literally destroying us because we are following a way that isn't of God. Okay. Give me Isaiah 55:6.
Con.
Because we have to find the Lord. And the only way we're going to do that is through the law, statutes, and commandments. It's not going to be on you making the Lord what you want him to be. See, that's what we got a problem with. We be turning the Lord into who we want. And Yahweh, on Revelations, you say you want to see what? Christ coming back, all that? Okay. All right. You continue. You go to read what you got.
Con. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.
Do what?
Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.
You better seek ye the Lord while he may be found. You better come up in these schools while these doors are open. Because one day these doors are going to be closed. Oh, and when them doors close, there ain't no more slots. When he closes the doors on them chariots, then what? What's going to happen? You're going to be right here. Especially if you partake, right? If we partake into what America does, then we're going to suffer America's plagues. Okay? Let me see. That one. All right. Let me get. Ooh. Let's go to Proverbs 1:20.
Read it when I got it.
Yep.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets.
See, wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the street. When we're out there at camp, that's what we're doing. Okay? We are out there. When we were out there uttering wisdom into the street. We out there speaking. We're speaking the knowledge of the Most High. We're speaking the laws of the Most High. Continue.
Con. Verse 21. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, and the openings of the gates, in the city.
See? That's why we're out there. That's why we're out there where we're at. That's why we're in the downtowns. We're in the cities. We're in the streets. We right there where you could be seen and heard. Right there, like it says, in front of the water gate. Go ahead.
Con. In the city, she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
How long what?
How long will ye love simplicity?
You simple ones. How long will you love simplicity? How long you going to be simple and stay in Christianity? Stay in Egyptology. Stay in the game. All right? Stay in the philosophy of your oppressor. How long? How long are we going to do this? How long are we going to be simple? How long are we going to not get down on our people? As long as it just live, I'm doing okay. While your brothers is down in the gutter, while your brothers is down in the bottom, while your people are lost. while we are being destroyed. Okay? Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 22. And the scorners delight in their scorning.
And them scorners, they delight in their scorning. All right? Continue. Yeah, just continue real quick.
And fools hate knowledge.
See, they delight in their scorning. When they walking by and they scoffing and they scorning at you, read that part one more time for me.
And fools hate knowledge.
They hate knowledge. That's why they're laughing at you. While you standing out there looking like a warrior, and they're walking by looking tender, moist, and feminine, okay? They're laughing at you. What the hell are they doing with their life? What do they stand for? They hate knowledge. They don't want to hear the knowledge of God. They want to continue in the traditions of men. They don't want to hear you say that Valentine's Day isn't for you. They don't want to hear you talk about Christmas or Easter or any of those things because they hate knowledge. They love the lie. Okay? Since they love the lie, they don't want to hear the truth. And when you're feeding them the truth, they feel like you're oppressing them. That's a big problem with our people, is we feel like when somebody's actually correcting us, that they're doing a disservice to us. When all actuality, they're actually doing a service. Okay? They're doing an excellent service. All right? Because correction is love. That's why the Lord say, I chastise who I loveth. Or who I loveth, I chastise. Okay? Continue reading wherever we at.
Khan. Verse 22. Looks like that's it, son.
Continue reading.
Verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you.
You see, these words, they're being made known unto us. That's how we're knowing who we are. We knowing the breakdowns. We knowing the precepts. We knowing the Bible. These words are being made known to us because we don't hate knowledge. Okay? If you don't hate knowledge, you could come and get the actual knowledge. All right? Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 24. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded.
That's because you're jumping up and down in the church. You're jumping up and down in the church. You're looking like a damn idiot all the time. Okay? You're running around. Sisters got to run around, fall out, and get a damn cover thrown over them. But nobody is doing actually what God said. They're doing the show. They're doing whatever show that they put on in the Christian church. But what they are not doing is actually what the Bible tells them to, which is following those laws, those statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel.
But see, we said at naught. We put his counsel at nothing. Continue.
And would none of my reproof.
Continue reading.
Verse 26. I also will laugh at your calamity.
You will what?
I also will laugh at your calamity.
That's what happens. That's what happens when we don't want to follow our God. We'll laugh at our calamity. We go through a lot of calamity. We go through a lot of torment. We go through a lot of sorrow. But we don't want to do the actual thing that could get us out of it. Because our Christian pastor says that the law is done away with. Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 26. I will mock when your fear cometh.
Mm-hmm. Read that one more time.
I will mock when your fear cometh.
Lord, he's going to mock when our fear is coming. When you sitting in that courtroom and you praying to God now after you just did all kind of craziness. All right? He's going to mock you. That's when you hear that judge says, 25 years, you being mocked. Because you out here hating knowledge. You didn't want the knowledge of the Most High. You heard this and you wanted to go on. There's a lot of brothers who hear this and they go do what the hell they want. And then when their time of calamity comes, the Lord laughs and mocks. Continue.
Gone. Verse 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you.
So you read it.
28. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
I will what?
I will not answer.
A lot of us did that. A lot of us get ourselves in a situation, and then we want to hurry up and turn to God. Hey, God, I swear I'll never do it. I'll never do it again. I'll never.
That's how it goes.
But the Lord doesn't. He says right there, they're going to call upon me. But remember, you don't want him to be your God. You want your oppressor to be your God. You want Caesar Borgia to be your God. You want weed and alcohol to be your God. You want cocaine to be your God. You want prostitutes to be your God. You want strippers to be your God. You want your best friend Billy to be your God. You see? So when the Lord, when he doesn't answer, when we call on him, he's basically saying, keep that same energy. Call on who you've been calling on. Don't turn to me now. Go ahead.
Verse 28. They shall seek me. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 29. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord.
You see, wisdom, fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Okay? You have to fear the Lord. Just like you fear your father. If you about to come in that damn house late, you know what's about to happen. You be scared. Or the teacher about to call home, anything. You have that fear. We don't have the fear of the Most High. We just don't give a damn. Because the rappers, our entertainers, they told us to do what we want. They said they gave you YOLO. They told you to YOLO. You only live once. Well, that's not true. They gave you what's the other term? Just do you. Just do you. I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody watching, you should never do you because you are an idiot. Maybe you should do what the men above tell you, because you are an idiot. Don't ever do what you want to. I don't do me. If I do me, there's gonna be a lot of noise. Okay. I don't do me. I do what I'm told. I say kind on the one kind. I don't just do what the hell comes to my mind. Continue reading.
Verse 30. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof.
Mm-hmm. We despise his reproof. We despise his counsel. What's the Lord's counsel? Don't eat shrimp, crab, pork, or lobster. We despise that counsel, and now we got to get our damn leg cut off because diabetes done ridden our leg. All right? I don't think pork is worth your leg. I think shrimp, crab, and lobster is worth hypertension and all of that. I know people, I only eat seafood. It's mainly women. Zakaria. Our sisters, they think that, they so special. I only eat seafood. I said, well, I never eat it. So how are we going to eat together? I don't eat it, and I don't want it by me. So how are we going to eat? This one sister, she used to tell me that I only eat seafood. I said, the roaches of the sea? That's what you so proud, so chest on boasted out for?
They pride themselves on that.
They pride themselves. You know why? Because they told us pork was the other white meat. They told us shrimp, crab, and lobster was a delicacy. They call it a delicacy. The Lord calls it an abomination. But your oppressor calls it a delicacy. And you believe him. And that's why at a Christian church, I done had a catfish fry. I done had a seafood broil, crawfish broil thing. I done had fried pork chops in a church. Because our Christian pastors, they listen to the oppressor. And the oppressor say these things are delicacies. Your Christian pastor is somewhere right now taking his wife out to a fine lobster dinner.
Too.
It's red. It's like Mr. Krabs, but that joint is. You see that lobster is going to be red, okay? And our people is out there thinking that is a date. You remember when Beyonce said, if he F me good, I take his A to Red Lobster. Do you know Red Lobster sales went up 30% that day? Because all them women took their man to Red Lobster. Whether the rod was good or not, Zakaria, they just going. It's a reason to go. Continue reading.
Verse 31. Therefore, shall they eat of the fruit of their own way.
That's what?
Shall they eat of the fruit of their own way.
That's why we're suffering and going through things that we're putting ourselves through. If I'm out there on the corner every day hustling, pistol toting, gang banging, when they come by and unalive me, don't be surprised. If all I'm doing is eating what the Lord told me not to eat, when I have a damn heart attack because my arteries are clogged, all right, don't be surprised. All right, that's the thing. We got to stop being surprised because we are eating off of our own fruit. This is what we're producing. This is what we're planning. If you're planning prison, where do you think you're going to end up? You're going to end up in a prison cell. If you're planning caskets, you're going to end up in a grave. These are the things that we have to understand. And Christianity makes everybody go to heaven when they perish, no matter how bad you are. Because everybody says you're looking down on them. No matter what you did in this earth, there's going to be somebody there who's saying, well, I know he's looking down on me. Somebody's saying that about the worst individuals ever. That's why we're destroyed. We're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Continue reading.
Verse 31. And be filled with their own devices.
Drop down to 33.
Verse 33. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
But what?
But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
I know the only thing that protects me at all is the Most High. I know that. Because we all made those mistakes. Planning prison, planning coffins. But we came in here, dedicate our life, and the Lord say, nah, I got a better plan. Yeah, your charge is 2 to 20, but I got a better plan. Okay? I got a better plan for you. You're going to come in here, you're going to be a priest and prophet. You're going to serve me, and you won't have to sit in no damn prison cell. Because we serving the Most High. You know what I mean? Most High took that burden from me, and I was grateful because it wasn't looking good. The cat kept telling me, you just do what you do what you're supposed to do. You just keep doing it. And the Lord gonna bring you through that. And I got brought through something that without the Most High, I definitely wouldn't be brought through. I'll be sitting down somewhere. Okay. And that's why I'm grateful. And that's why I understand. Read that one more time.
Verse 31. And be filled with their own devices.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 32.
No, 33. Read that again.
Verse 33. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
You see? And even if you are getting locked up, well, the Most High still be with you. If you with the Lord, He's going to protect you. You know, just because you with the Lord don't mean you. You see what happened to the apostles? They all going there. You know, they lock us up. I don't want you out here doing this work. All right? Now let's get to Ken. All right, any questions? What's some questions y'all had earlier that y'all was asking? You gonna wait till tomorrow? You keep saying. Unless you got a specific verse that you could go to. Yeah, we saving that for Cap. Yeah, we going to let Cap dig and dive on. What were some of them questions I had earlier that y'all asked? So let's get some of those. Yeah, we'll get these and see if we can get you right. And yeah, if y'all got any questions out there in TV land, chat them in. Okay. While they finding that, let's go to Nehemiah.
Chapter
8.
Chapter 8. Start at verse 1.
Yeah. Hold on, anybody, what's the ones y'all asked earlier? Y'all remember? Okay. No, that's good. Yeah. All right, so you got the same ones as him. Okay. All right, so you got the same kind of ones as him. Let's see, but we're going to say most of that for Cap. Let's go to Matthew 24:3, though. Let's give y'all a little bit, but most of it we probably going to have to get from Cap.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24,
into that.
verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
You see, just like we do now, we wanted to know back then too. We want to know what's the sign of Christ coming. Okay, what's the sign of the end of the world? Continue reading.
Verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
You see, we gotta know that there's gonna be many out there, many people deceiving you. Every fake Israelite camp, every Christian church, every Egyptologist, all these people, all these things, they're out there deceiving you. They're out there taking you away from the Most High, taking you away from Christ, taking you away from your customs. All right, continue reading.
Verse 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Mm-hmm.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
He says, don't be troubled. Don't be troubled when you hear Israel and Gaza. Don't be troubled when you hear Ukraine and Russia. Don't be troubled when you hear about these wars and these rumors of wars. You don't have to worry about it because these things must happen. Continue.
Verse 6. But the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. Is it going to say that? But yeah, read that.
Verse 7. For nation against nation.
Oh, no, I got to go down. Just continue. You good? Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation,
Uh-huh.
and kingdom against kingdom.
You see, nations want to rise against nation, and kingdoms to rise against kingdom. That is what's going to happen. That is what you see happen. You know what else? It's going to be racial wars. Okay? You think them Edomites is going to be on your side? They're going to choose them. You better choose you and put your people first. Okay? You better do that. Continue reading.
And there shall be pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
All right, so there shall be famines. The grocery stores aren't full like they were. everything a high demand like it used to be. Used to be able to get certain things at high demand. It was an endless supply. Them trucks ain't moving like they used to. Okay, where we at?
Verse 7.
Then it says, and pestilences. Y'all know? Anybody know what pestilence is? We get one down. Go ahead. Diseases. Exactly. Pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All right. New York, they're known for having earthquakes and stuff like that, right? New York recently had an earthquake. All right. That's what's happening. We used to seeing them in California, in Tokyo, Japan, and in places like that. We're used to seeing it in New York. This is letting you know the signs of the times. Continue reading.
Verse 8.
Yeah, go ahead.
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
See, all these are just the beginning of the sorrows. This is the beginning. You hearing and seeing that? That's the beginning. Continue reading.
Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you. Sorry. Then shall they deliver you up to be, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
See, there are a couple times you might have to put your life on the line for Christ. Okay, continue. The prophets some of them got their heads cut off. Continue.
Verse 10. And then shall men be offended, shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen when there's no food in the stores. It's going to happen. You're not going to be as close to people as you think when your stomach's touching your back. Okay, you might not be that good of a friend. You might start thinking, I think he still owe me $10. Oh, I heard he got food over there. We're going to run up in his house. We're going to take that food. We're going to take those Pampers. I just had a baby. Go ahead.
They're going to say, he owed me.
He owed me.
Remember when I did this for you back in the day?
Remember, I took you to work for 2 weeks straight.
2 weeks.
I drove you to work 2 weeks straight. You're going to give me those lint towels. They're going to take them lint towels. All right, continue reading.
Okay. Verse 10. Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
That's happening today. There's many false prophets out there. They are hot. Oh, TD Jakes, he is up there. Creflo Dollar, Nasty Nate, Nathan. They deceiving many.
What's that preacher's name out there on the East Coast? Geno Jennings?
Geno Jennings. They deceiving many. That's what these false prophets are out there doing. They're deceiving you. They're actually having you turn away from the Most High. Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All that love is love, all that, but you got to care about people. That's going to go away. When this comes to survival, you're going to see how people really act. You're going to see the truth. You think your oppressor is a beast now? Wait till the shelves are empty. We're going to have to protect ourselves and hold the fort. You seen all those movies? They could get very diabolical. Okay? Continue reading. Khan. Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end.
That he what?
That shall endure unto the end.
We got to endure to the end. Continue.
The same shall be saved.
Good night. Drop down to 21.
Verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was now since the beginning of the world to this time.
You see, there's going to be a great tribulation. There's going to be great destruction. There's going to be great torment on this earth like has never been seen since the beginning of time. Continue reading.
No, nor ever shall be.
Nor ever shall be. And after this happens, after our king returns, it's not going to it's not going to ever happen again. There's not going to be no need for what's going to happen when he comes. Go ahead.
Colonel Khan, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
And the reason that these days are going to be shortened and that Christ has to come back and he can't wait forever is because there would be no more of us. That's why it says, for then shall, and except the days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. All oppressors would try to eat us to extinction. Okay? Continue reading.
Colonel Khan, verse 23. Then, if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not.
You see, when they telling you, I'm telling you, Christ is in purple every Saturday. Christ ain't with them. People think the Lord is with them. When they tell you, oh, Christ is in this church, he's not with them. Okay? That's what we have to understand. All right? Christ is where he's at. Christ is with the truth. Okay? Not with the lies. Not with the hypocrisy. Continue reading.
Colonel Khan, behold, I have told you before. Verse 26. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert.
Hey, go to 30. Verse 30.
Colonel Khan, verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
He's coming with power and glory. And he's coming with those angels. All right. That's what it's going to be like. And it says all the tribes on the earth shall mourn. Because what they're going to see is going to be something that that they can't even fathom. All right. They're going to be looking for Caesar Borgia. That's who's coming. Okay? He's coming with all his power, with all his glory, and they're going to mourn because they know that they are going to pay. There's going to be a payment for what happened to the Lord's people, for what happened to Christ. Okay? We got to understand that. Give me Revelations 1 and 7.
Colonel Khan. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Behold, he cometh with clouds.
Yep, he cometh with what?
With clouds.
He cometh with clouds. What does that mean? Let's go, young man AJ first. He coming with clouds. With what? Nope. Young man Terrence. The chariots. That's what it is when he coming with the cloud. All right? Because he moves in the clouds. Go ahead.
And every eye shall see him.
And what?
And every eye shall see him.
You see, remember y'all was asking about all the nature plans. What was y'all asking about all the tribes in the deserts and the jungles and all that? Don't worry. This says every eye shall see him. Go ahead.
And they also which pierced him.
Uh-huh.
And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, amen.
Give me Isaiah 13 and 6.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Howl ye.
Do what?
Howl ye.
Howl ye. That's what you're going to do. Everybody wants the day of the Lord. Christians can't wait for Christ to come back. They think it's about to be, they think Christ is going to kiss Edomite babies in the mouth. That's what they think he's coming back to hug and kiss and hold hands and cherish every moment. Nah, this ain't a K Jewelers commercial. All right? Read that again.
Howl ye.
Uh-huh.
For the day of the Lord is at hand.
Ooh-wee.
It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
It's going to come as a destruction from the Almighty. That's what it is, going.
Can I get a precept real quick?
You want to pull one?
Come on.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, so pull you a precept. Yeah, it's a lot.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Do what?
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Continue.
To what end is it for you?
So what end is it for you? What the hell is in it for you? If Christ came back right now, what's in it for you with a blunt to your mouth? What's in it with you while you're sleeping with some prostitute? You're in the car with some prostitute, and Christ comes back right now. What end is it to you? You should not want him to come at all. Continue reading.
The day of the Lord is darkness,
And not what?
and not light.
The day of the Lord is darkness. They think that there's going to be some beautiful glow on the earth because Christians believe that they're going to float up before. Okay. Since you read that, no, we're gonna go back up to where I was. Give me Revelation. Oh, go ahead. Okay. All right. Let me get that. And what you got? Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, all of the nations. Yes. Yes.
What was the scripture? We should pull from Revelation last week.
Revelation what 11 and 1 and 7. But we was just at Isaiah. Let me just.
My last question.
Go ahead.
Hey, come. Remember a few seconds ago when you asked about can Edomites be reincarnated? When Christ was being crucified, a Roman soldier came up and he pierced him through with a spear. And he did that to cause more pain and affliction to him. You know what I'm saying? The man was already suffering. So back in Revelation chapter 1, verse 7, where Shema went to school, where it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. You know what I'm saying? This is a precept about the future. So I'm saying the man who pierced Christ back in the day is dead, but his spirit is still living this day. You see what I'm saying? So today his spirit may be in the man of a cop who killed a little boy. You know what I'm saying? An Israelite child. And Christ is going to come back and unalive that man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, go ahead. Finish your thing.
Christ is going to come back and unalive that man. Possibly his whole family. You know what I'm saying? Because not only what he did to Christ, because that spirit he has on, which he continues to do to his people. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it's,
Yeah.
And it's the same way about the judgment of Esau. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you read Obadiah before, but in the book of Obadiah, it says that that all of Esau shall be judged. You know what I'm saying? The house of Esau shall be no more. You know what I'm saying? So for all the Israelites who have been killed, who have been unalived by the hand of Edomites, those dead bodies have to be recompensated. Have to be what they call it, recompensated. That blood has to be answered. You know what I'm saying? So for every Edomite that are unalive, the children of God, and they thought, oh, I died, I got away with it. You know what I'm saying? No, they're gonna come right back. And Christ knows who they are. And he's gonna seek them out, he's gonna personally unalive them. You know what I'm saying? So everybody who's living is most definitely gonna be reincarnated.
Give him a hand. Exodus 15 and 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
He's a what?
A man of war.
The Lord is a man of war. Continue.
The Lord is his name.
The Lord is a man of war. So since the Lord is a man of war, we are an army. You asked about rank and you asked about order. All right. The rank and order is because we are an army. Okay. Now give me Exodus 12 and 51.
Come. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 51.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass the self same day that the Lord did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their
You
armies.
see, again, it's talking about us being a army, right?
Oh, huh.
All right. Now let's get Deuteronomy 1 and 15, because he asked about the ranks. He asked about ranks and orders and all that. We follow the rank and order of the Bible.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 15.
Here we go.
So I took the chief of your tribes,
Uh-huh.
wise men
Yep.
and known, and made them heads over you.
See, he took the chiefs and the wise men, and he made them heads over you. Continue reading.
Captains over thousands,
Captains over what?
over thousands,
We got captains of 10,000s, captains of 13,000s. Continue.
and captains over hundreds,
Uh-huh. Continue.
and captains over 50s,
Continue.
and captains over 10s,
Uh-huh.
and officers among your tribes.
Uh-huh. All right, you see? That's rank and order. Hey, plug that in. Yeah, it came out right there. Yeah. It's plugged in. It just needs to plug that in right there. I think it's a while. Yep. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it is. All right. Now give me Mark 6 and 39. So I can show you that Christ did the same thing. Christ followed the rank and order system. That Christ understood this.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 6, verse 39.
And see, this is when he was, all right, it'll explain itself. Go ahead.
And he commanded them to make all sit down
Mm-hmm.
by companies,
By what?
by companies,
Sit down by companies, by rank and by order. Continue.
upon the green grass.
Uh-huh.
Verse 40. And they sat down in ranks by hundreds.
They sat down in what?
In ranks.
They sat down in what?
In ranks.
They sat down in ranks. This is why we have rank and order. Continue reading.
By hundreds
Uh-huh.
and by 50s.
Continue reading.
Verse 41. And when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves and gave them to his disciples to set before them. And the 2 fishes divided he among them all. See?
Nope. That's all we need. That's why we got the rank and order. That help you out? Anything else?
That's nice to know, because like before I started coming to class and everything, I seen the other parents, they didn't run it that way, and it makes sense because they don't go by the Bible.
Exactly. That's what we do. We go by the Bible. Give me Nehemiah 8:1.
Oh, God. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 1. And all the people gathered themselves together as one man into the street that was before the water gate.
See, that's what we do. We go out there downtown and we gather ourselves together as one. We are one body out there, one mind, one spirit. All right. We're on one accord. We're not all just doing our own thing. We come out there as one. Continue reading.
And they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses.
To bring what?
The book of the law of Moses.
See, a lot of them blackity blacks, a lot of them Kemet, them Kemetic brothers, they'll say, the Bible ain't even in the Bible. But what does it say?
The book of the law of Moses.
That's what we're bringing out. We're bringing out this book of the law. We're bringing out our records. We're bringing out our Declaration of Independence. We're bringing out our history. All right, continue reading.
Which the Lord had commanded to Israel. Verse 2. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women.
See, that's what we do. We go out there and we bring it before the congregation. We bring it before the men and the women and the children. Continue.
and all that could hear with understanding upon the first day of the 7th month.
Mm-hmm.
And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate from the morning until midday.
See that? So he's there from the morning to midday. They having camp. Camp lasts hours, okay? You're out there, you speaking, you teaching. Continue reading.
Before the men and the women,
Mm-hmm.
and those that could understand, and the ears of all the people were attentive unto the book of the law. Verse 4, and Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood.
He did what?
Stood upon a pulpit of wood.
So it's saying that they are out there in the streets. It's saying they're out there in the streets and that he stand on a pulpit of wood. What do you understand? That's what you're doing. This is what Ezra and them did. This isn't nothing. This isn't new. It's new to your Christian pastor because he thinks the pulpit of wood is that little stand he has with a few hymns and a few scriptures on it. That's not a pulpit of wood. A pulpit of wood is what you see the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge standing on out there having camp. Continue reading.
Okay. Verse 3, and the ears of all the people were attentive unto the book of the law. Verse 4, and Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood, which they made for the purpose.
Which what?
Which they made for the purpose.
That's all that pulpit of wood, that podium, it's only for that. It's only to go out there to speak in the street, to wake up so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to tell your oppressor he's the devil to his face. That's what that's for. It's not for anything else. We don't set it up. It's not a table. It's not a table for the school when we get back. It's only for that purpose. It's only used for this purpose. Just like the prophets of old, they only used their pulpit of wood for this purpose. Go ahead.
And beside him stood Mattathiah and Shema and Ananiah. It's like Ananiah and Urijah and Hilkiah and Messiah on his right hand, and on his left hand Pedaiah, Mishael, Malchiah, and Hashum, and Hashbadana, Zechariah, and Meshullam.
See, that's how it is at camp, right? That's how we standing. We have Zechariah. We're gonna have Yahweh. We're gonna have Kakan. We're gonna have Shemarwan. We're gonna have Yakazah. We have Gadiah. We have Naquat. We have, you see all these brothers. That's how it is. That's how it's set up. That's how it's always been. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 5. And Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people.
See, and we open this book into the sight of all the people. Everybody's just walking by. And we got this book open. We are out here praying and prophesying. Continue reading.
For he was above all the people.
And why is he above all the people? He's above all the people because he's standing on this pulpit of wood that has him elevated. He's also above all the people because he outranks all the people. Continue reading.
And when he opened it up, and when he opened it, all the people stood up. Verse 6, and Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God, and all the people answered, Amen, Amen, with lifting up their hands. With lifting up their hands, and they bowed their heads and worshiped the Lord with their faces to the ground.
You see, when people hear this, when a certain person hears this, they understand that it's the truth. Okay? When you out there speaking and somebody really gets it, they'll know that it's the truth. Continue reading.
Verse 7, also Jeshua and Benai and Sherebiah and Jemin and Akub and Shabbathar, Hadijah, Messiah, Kalida, Azariah, Josabad, Hanan, Peliah, and the Levites caused the people to understand the law, and the people stood in their place.
You see, this is camp. This is what we do. When we go out there, this is what we're doing. We are holding the customs of our forefathers. We are keeping our traditions. So while you come by the camp and you scoff and you laugh and you make jokes. Just know that we're doing what the Most High actually requires of a person to do. We are out there at war. We are out there on the front lines. We are out there waking up our people. All right? We're not just sitting in the building. We're not just sitting back, relaxed. We are there. We are stone cold, and we are waking the people up. We are teaching the people. Continue.
Verse 8. So they read in the book of in the law of God distinctly, and gave the sense, and caused them to understand the reading. Verse 9. And Nehemiah, which is the Tershatha, and Ezra the priest, the scribe, and the Levites that taught the people, said unto all the people, this day is holy unto the Lord your God. Mourn not, nor weep, for all the people wept when they heard the words of the law.
See, and that's why we go to camp. We go to camp for that specific reason, because we want the people to hear the Bible. Can't hear it if you just keep it all hidden, just keep it locked up in this room. If I just keep it locked up in this room, how is it going to leave these walls? Okay? That's why we go out there. That's why we do it on all facets to teach our people. We have classes and we have camp. And that's what is required of you. Give me Isaiah 58 and 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression.
It says, but they say, oh, B'Chonta's out there yelling at people and telling them what they're doing wrong. Read that one more time.
Cry aloud, spare not.
You got to cry aloud. You got to raise your voice sometimes. All right? And you're not out there to spare people. All right? The kingdom is at hand. We shouldn't be trying to spare anybody. We should be trying to wake them up. We should be trying to help them not perish. Continue.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Like a what?
A trumpet.
Like a trumpet. Ooh, we get loud. Continue reading.
And show my people their transgression.
And do what?
Show my people their transgression.
We got to show the people the transgressions. Okay? Because we had to be shown our transgressions. Because how do you know if you're doing something wrong or not unless somebody tells you? Go ahead.
This is like a cut for people who say, well, why out there judging everybody?
Exactly. Because we're supposed to. All right? We are supposed to. Give me Ezekiel 37 and 9.
This is the book of Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord God, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live.
See, that's why we don't care. There don't have to be nobody out there. I don't care if there's nobody in the classroom. I don't care if there's nobody at a camp spot. The Lord said, prophesy to the wind. That's what you better do. You put the message out there. That's your job. Your job ain't to make somebody hear it, all right? If there's nobody there to hear it, you still do it. You don't say, well, nobody's in class anyway. Why should I? No. You put it out there. You do what you're told. The Lord said, prophesy to the wind. I don't care if there's nobody there to listen. You put it out there. Go ahead.
Verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came in unto them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
You see, that's why. Because when the people hear this, when the dry bones hear this, and they wake up like we did, right? It said they're going to stand on their feet, an exceedingly great army. That's what we're going to have. We're going to have a complete army, okay? Everybody else got armies. All the other nations, they got armies, right? Your oppressor has an army. And why is your oppressor's army so damn strong? Who knows that? Go ahead.
The reason why our oppressor's army is so strong, God one, because it is filled with the Most High God's people, the blacks and Hispanics.
That's right. All the warriors that belong to the Most High are in the oppressor's army. And that's why that army's so strong. That's why wherever we at, it's the greatest. That's why they try to call this the greatest country on earth. You could put us in Russia, then Russia would be the greatest. You put us in China, then China would be the greatest. Because we are God's chosen people. So that's why this place is able to dominate like it is, because it's so strong, because it's so filled with us. And we think we got all this ability to dribble a basketball. You think LeBron James looks like that and is built like that and can run like that to dribble a damn basketball? No, because he was built for the Lord's army. That's how we're built. That's why we're such a spectacle out there. Go ahead.
That's like for sure true, because when I look back at just regular history and look at all of the greatest nations, we was in captivity there.
Yeah.
Here, Rome, Greece, Egypt, all of them.
All of them. That's why they wanted to watch you in the Colosseum. They looking at you like, throw a bear in there. Throw a bear and 2 lions. Because they looking at you like these people right here, they are incredible. You ever see them run? You ever see them jump? And we still entertaining them until today. You know what I mean? We still entertaining. All right. Continue reading. We read 11. Read of 11.
Verse 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
These bones are what?
The whole house of Israel.
See, that's what we are to do. We are to wake up the dry bones. Before we came into truth, that's what we were. We were dry bones. Yeah, we out here, it's like zombies. That's how a lot of our people are out here. They're just zombies. They just have their mind already set. They think they know, especially when I talk to our shit, man. I talk to our sisters and I'm just so hurt because you can't tell them nothing and they got all the answers. And it's like it's hard to save a person from their own destruction when they when they got all the answers. When you can't tell them nothing. Or when they always got some way to turn it around. Continue reading.
Honorable Khan.
Or that was it?
Verse 11, that was it.
All right, that's it.
Sorry, that was not it. On verse 11. Sorry. See?
Yep.
Behold, they say, our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts.
See, and that's how we feel. That's the conditions of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are cut off from the world. That's why we don't make none of the decisions. You think we're included in important decisions about the world? Think the government's coming to us? Think they care about what we have to say? We can't even make decisions about our own community, let alone what's going on in the world, let alone real politics and what's really happening. Because we are cut off. All right? We have lost all hope. We don't have any hope. That's why we're jumping up and down like blabbering idiots in the Christian church. Okay? Give me 1 Samuel 16 and 18.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 18. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning and plain, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and the Lord is with him.
They saying, hey, I saw this serpent. I seen Jesse saying that boy David. Oh, he cunning and playing. That's how we are. That's why your mama always had to tell you to sit down, quit wrestling around, quit playing around, quit fighting. That's our spirit. We have a warlike spirit. Okay? It says, I've seen him. He is cunning and playing. This says a mighty and valiant man, a man of war. That's what we are. When you look at the men in this school, we are not weak. We are men of war. Okay? What else to say? This ain't prudent at all matters. He was serious in these matters. All right? It had an answer, a comely person, meaning beautiful. All right? Let me get First Maccabees 14 and 9.
Mhm. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 14, verse 9. The ancient men sat all in the streets, communing together of good things. And the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel.
They put on what?
Glorious and warlike apparel.
What is that?
What we wearing right now?
No. A garment. They got them garments on to the foot. That's glorious and warlike apparel. That garment. You know? Oh, we have to get somebody to make one of those. That's a garment. Okay. That's an excellent garment. All right. Where we at? Let's get Acts. Is there any more questions? All right.
I'm gonna bring mine tomorrow. I still gotta go back and look at it. It's like the last 4 chapters of Zechariah. Like, it's sprinkled in there.
Okay.
I gotta go back and read it. Talk together.
All right. No sweat. Let's say 30. I'm gonna end it there. Let's get the security announcements.
Let me get it, sir.
No, we're gonna let Yaqua get them. You got the calendar? Huh? We'll read the Holy Convocations.
ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK. Our long way, one victory, all New York. New brother and sister, new brother and sister coming to the school. They are all within 6 months. They are really hungry. They are intercessors of the world. And these presentations the teacher will arrange after 6 months. The brother and sister has a particular person, he or she of the conviction of the head sweet for a brother and sister. Another 6 months, and when the brother and sister time, when it's commanded, that was 1821. Malachi 3:8-10 means 6 in Hebrew. I 10% of every penny of anything that the Lord gives, give to the building department or teach priest farm. Offering for free, not mandatory. Whatsoever I have to like. Holy convocations.
Our promotions. Next day is Memorial of Blowing of Trumpets, which will be Wednesday, the 2nd October 2024, which can be found in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 to 25.
If anyone wants to give to bring to school, start for all black group, shirt, dance, and start. With that, I can fix it up. Pass that over to tomorrow $5.
500, buddy. All right. With that, we're going to Amajim, which makes a stand. We're going to give courtesy salute to the teacher. Ben Israel, Michael Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakah.
All right, Yahweh, we're going to start, we're going to turn, face the sister rise. Then Israel, Madrin Shabbat, Imagine, Barak,
Yahweh Shemalah Ladam Bashem Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh, dismissed.